Let's now head to North Africa, where two countries ravaged by two separate natural disasters are still struggling to pick up their feet and recover. Libya, which was hit by a devastating flash flood and collapsed dam that flushed thousands of lives from the face of the earth, is marshalling itself to unite the divided east and west regions to provide relief for the affected victims and rebuild the destroyed cities. Here's a report from Derna.
Marrakesh in Morocco is still teetering towards recovering from a 6.8 magnitude earthquake that tore throughout the city into neighboring regions, ripping apart structures and lives. When a distant neighbor bore the brunt of another natural disaster, flash floods. For many Libyans, the collective grief over the death of thousands has morphed into a rallying cry for national unity in a country blighted by 12 years of conflict and division. In turn, the tragedy has ramped up pressure on the country's leading politicians, viewed by some as the architects of the catastrophe. The oil-rich country has been divided between rival administrations since 2014, with an internationally recognized government in Tripoli and a rival authority in the east, where Derna is located. Both are backed by international patrons and armed militias, whose influence in the country has ballooned since a NATO-backed Arab Spring uprising toppled autocratic ruler Muammar Gaddafi in 2011. Numerous United Nations-led initiatives to bridge the divide have failed. In the early hours of September 11th, two dams in the mountains upstream of Derna burst.
The number of affected people is very big. The damage is huge. It's hard to describe or measure it.
An outpouring of support for the people of Derna followed. Residents from the nearby cities of Benghazi and Tobruk offered to put up the displaced. In Tripoli, some 1,450 kilometers west, a hospital said it would perform operations free of charge for any injured in the flood.
This catastrophe proved that Libyans are united. Even those who have opposing political stance and views or have different external or internal interests were united after what happened in the east, in Derna, Al-Baida, Susa and Shahat. It proved that Libyans are united.
The disaster has fostered rare instances of the opposing administrations cooperating to help those affected. As recently as 2020, the two sides were in an all-out war. General Khalifa's forces besieged Tripoli in a year-long failed military campaign to try to capture the capital, killing thousands. Others have leveled blame for the burst dams on government officials.
I reassured the citizens that whoever made a mistake, neglected, the prosecution will certainly take firm measures, file a criminal case against him, and put him on trial.
However, on ground zero, there is a new problem now. Aid workers and volunteers on the ground in Libya's Derna have raised concerns that the aftermath of the flash floods that ravaged the city could soon result in an epidemic.
The international organizations know the harm of decomposed bodies that remain unburied. But until this moment, there are no cases reported of an outbreak of a contagion that spreads and infects others.
Doctors say the lack of sanitation and capacity to deal with the number of dead bodies could be catastrophic.
What we urge people is to stay away from areas with stagnating water and, of course, dead bodies. Also, we advise them not to drink at all from groundwater because it might be contaminated with sewage water or anything else.
In the years ahead, Gaddafi's ousting, Derna was considered a bastion of Islamist extremists, including affiliates of ISIS. Rebuilding the damage is going to be a headache for a divided Libya and could take years. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.